everybody. It's Monday night, and you are here on Digging Life. I just heard it.
We warned them, and it still happens.
It's okay. We said there's going to be feedback. We'll figure it out. All right.
You're fired.
Technical difficulties.
It won't be quiet.
That's hard to make me quiet. Seriously, I completely understand. Well, while you're working on that, I'm going to keep talking right over here and say hello to a few people. Hey, everybody, it's Nancy, ambient girl from Digging Life, and I am here today with Joe Copperhead and Dustin from Dutchboy Adentures. Going to say hello. The chat is flying by, so let's see who's here today. There's Jason. Hey, Jason, thanks for being here. And Backyard Treasures, another one of the mods. Thank you very much. And Paul, American Woodland Relics, and Deej from Digging with Deej, Tuesday nights, 5:30 live. Also, Ozzy Darren's in the house. Hi, Ozzy. Bobby Pastor. Make sure you check out his Facebook page, East Coast Metal Detecting. He just hit 500 subscribers over there. That channel's rocking, guys. If you're not part of that Facebook group, go over to East Coast Metal Detecting and check it out. Monk Cheetah is here. Hi, the name I love to say. Dave, I know, I love it. Dave from PA Relic Hunters here. Also, we've got Robert and Melissa, Clark Coves detecting. Covers are in the house. Mally Man Mike. Hi, Mike. How's it going? Oh my gosh, it's flying by, and everybody just went by really fast. Dawn Williams is here. Hi, Dawn. Can you dig it? Where's Shelly? Don't see her yet. And we're going in. There's Anthony. Hi, Anthony. And Jimmy Cloak is in the house. Hey, Jimmy. My cheat sheet has failed me now. I'm like looking at this going, Javier. Hi, Javier. Relic Reaper's here. Cecil's here from Demon Rat 71. Chris is here, everybody, from the ground up. Look, everybody, look right down. Happy birthday to Chris.
Happy birthday.
Chris,
Happy birthday.
everybody, fill the chats with happy birthday to Chris. My birthday present to you is I'm not going to sing because you don't want to hear me sing. So happy birthday, Chris. Also, Mark the Berg Hunter is here. Cynthia, the lovely Cynthia's in the house. Marty is nuts about digging and coins. Hey, Marty, I'm so glad you're here. Mississippi Mary, hi, how's it going? Frederick Camano, this chat is filling up. We have almost 30 people right now, Dustin.
Wow. It's going so fast.
Leslie Blur, I know it is. It goes same here. It's like I try to look at it, and as soon as I see a name, Mark Thomas, thank you, Mark, for being here. The Metal Angler is also in the house. And if I've missed you, I apologize. My whole page. Hi, Lisa. I just saw you go by. Finding Goodies. Tracy's in the house. Hi, Tracy. It's like gone right by again, everybody. All right. So if I missed you, hello, I see you. Please feel free to put a little emoji in. Drop those tractors in because Farmer Eugene is here. So hi, Farmer Eugene. I made a goof. I got a package from Farmer Eugene, and I left it at work. So, and it's a really nice package too. So everyone's going to have to come back next week to see what's in the package because there's quite a few things in this package, and there's a couple of things for maybe somebody else here. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, Papa Roos. Hi, Bill. It's good to see you.
Yes, people are flying in here.
I'm very honored to be on the show. Oh, Chris, you're awesome. Happy birthday. I hope it's been a great day for you. I really do. So, guys, let's get this show on the road here. Hey, Team Clambake. Hi, Dennis is here, too. Guys, I want to introduce to you Dustin. Dustin is from Dutchboy Adentures. If you haven't checked him out yet, I don't know why you haven't, because you really should. His link is pinned at the top of my chat feed, so you can click on that at any time to make sure you check out some of his videos. He does more than just metal detect, guys, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So, Dustin, welcome to Digging Life.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
I'm going to put you on the hot seat, okay? You ready for this? Are you biting your nails? No.
Yeah, there's none left.
I think most of us digging people have no nails. And the
so.
ones that do, please tell me how you do it, because I leave every time with chips and nicks and everything, and I know I should be wearing gloves. That's probably the secret. Anyways, Dustin, why don't you tell me a little bit about how long you've been metal detecting, what got you into metal detecting, and we'll go from there.
All right. I've pretty much been consistent at it for the last 4 or 5 years. And I've been on and off for about 20. And I started 20 some years ago. A kid that worked for me, I was a warehouse manager, and he was just a regular old, associate. And he started telling me how he was going treasure hunting. And back in the day, you could rent metal detectors, especially from white dealers. And so I started renting metal detectors and going out with them, and of course finding absolutely nothing because I had no idea what I was doing. And so then I'm like, no, I'm not doing this again.
Big old Radio Shack machines.
Yeah, I mean, you dug everything. I mean, you dug the can, the tab, everything with it. Yeah, bad experience. But and a lot of new people go through that and give up right away too. And I did, and thank God I didn't do it forever. And then at one point, I was running. I was a manager for a radio control store, and we sold all RC products like trucks and cars, and drones were big when I got out of it. And I convinced the ownership to let me be a Garrett dealer, and I was a Garrett dealer for about 3 years out of that distributor. And and that's really what hooked me then. Then I had time, as the manager, I had plenty of time to look at how these things were, watch the videos, read up on them, and actually talk to people at Outdoor Outfitters and Garrett to get more information. And I was sold. And as soon as I started, I had an AFib attack, and it put me out for like a year. And when I had the surgery after that, I went back at it hard for like the last 5 years. And so for 5 years straight now, I've just been pounding it.
So what was that first machine that you started with when you became the Garrett dealer?
The first I started with was the AT Pro.
AT Pro, okay.
Yeah. And then the second I started with was the second one I had was the AT Gold. And I actually liked my AT Gold more than I liked the Pro. I ended up.
That's the first person I've ever heard say that.
Yeah, I went everywhere with that Gold with the little 5x8 coil, and I found stuff just like I do with the Knox. It was really, really good, but you had your limitations. But I liked that way more than the Pro, and I liked the Pro. I have nothing bad to say about any of the product. It's just there's now next level products to those two machines. So now I have the Knox 800. So just like everyone
you're killing it with the Knox 800.
It's night and day. It really is. And when you learn it, it's just incredible what it can do. It's a beast.
Yes, it is.
I got the 6.
People are always looking for two-way repeatables, and I try to tell them when you have the Knox, you can't look for the two-way repeatable. You listen for the sounds, and then you go very slow, and you can pick up which frequency you want to dig up. But people are always looking two-way repeatable. When I was at the seated hunt, and the last day at the silver hunt, I got 7 holes that people dug in and left 7 silver dimes they couldn't find.
Oh, you're kidding.
They couldn't pinpoint them with anything. You could see where the dime was and where they dug, so you could see the difference in the hole. They just couldn't pinpoint anything, and it was amazing. Yeah, honest to God, I mean, I was surprised. I was laughing because I wasn't finding anything because I didn't feel well the last day, so I was going extra slow, and I wasn't finding anything. And I just said, well, let me check some holes, and it was just so funny.
That is funny. We've all been there, though.
Yeah,
we have. I was going to say, I'm one of those. I struggle sometimes with pinpointing. So there's times that, like, after 10 minutes on a hole, I'm done. That's it. I can't find it. And somebody will come over and they're like, it's right here.
You just remember, try to latch on to another signal in that,
Stock coil, or you run 15? What do you run?
I'm still running factory stock. I don't see any reason to do anything else at this point.
Because everybody's got something different to say about what they do, and it's kind of cool to hear you say that. Actually,
yeah, it's perfect. I mean, the day I stop finding stuff, then maybe I'll look at a different coil. But no, it's just working so fine, and it's 2 years now, really, and I couldn't be more happy, especially with their service too.
That's awesome.
Awesome. So then what made you turn all that into a YouTube, to go on YouTube and actually show people what you're doing and what you're finding?
Dun, dun.
The YouTube started out as a way of sharing the experience, even if I didn't get anything. And if you look at my earlier videos, it was more about the atmosphere, where I'm at, and you can hear me saying a million times how beautiful it is. And then and you can see I was with a Garrett when I started out, and then as I progressed, it became more of the finds. But I kind of try to I'm a vet, and I try to cater to the vets and to the people that can't get out. So I'm not trying to show 10 million finds. I'm trying to get people involved as if they were there through the whole process. And and it works for me because I'm not getting sponsored or trying to make money, or I'm not selling anything. I'm really just trying to make people happy because I'm happy when I'm out there, and it's just sharing good vibes.
That's a great answer, man.
Exactly. I mean, it's all about the experience.
Yep.
People think it's all about the finds, but it's not. There's so much more to metal detecting than just pulling a relic or a coin out of the ground.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
It's like it is. You find, to me, I find something, I want to know the story behind it. If I'm at an old home site, I want to know, where did this 1950s badge come from? I want to know how many kids were there, and try to just figure some things out and peel back the layers of time. And that's more fascinating. Even the research at times is more fascinating than getting out there. But of course, you get out there, you're just in la la land, swinging away, trying to, find good stuff. But it's the history.
Well, it's true about, as you said, the story, because even if you can't find the story, as soon as you find that item, your head starts ticking and you start creating, was this, or this, how did this get here? Was it from this person? Was it a family that was traveling? Because I do some detecting a lot on old turnpike roads. So I think I sit there and I think about the travelers that have crossed that turnpike road. It's true. Your mind I found something this weekend that's military, and I'm trying to figure out, I wonder who it belonged to, and of course I started.
Awesome find.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Well, jealous.
What is it?
It's a World War II sterling silver Air Force wings.
Oh, I think my friend Jerry got those. Someone got those. That is awesome. That's beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful, and that was my big find this weekend. But of course, I started ticking, going, this belonged to a hero. You start creating, did he die? It's all those things. How did it end up where I found it?
Yeah. Well, and even when you're in the property itself and you're looking for, and you don't see sidewalks or anything, you want to start looking. Where did they walk? Where did they travel? Where's the well? Where's the outhouse? Which way did they walk it? Did they go around this way or that way? Even that part of the equation is just as fun as the rest. You feel like a little detective.
Well, speaking of being a detective, then how do you do your research? Do you do much research before you go out, or do you do the research after you find a property?
No. Well, two things. I'll drive around and look for properties like everyone else. But instead of driving around and seeing it and then pulling up without having a game plan, I write down the address or talking to my phone, and I go home and I look it up. And the first thing I always look at is a parcel viewer. So I know who the owner is, where their address is, and how big the permission is. Then I go to Google Earth and check it out from there, so I can look all around the property and go back even 20 years or so. Then I'll go back to Historical MapWorks and look for the map of that county and try to locate that house on the old map. And then if I have time, I'll go to Penn Pilot, or what it's now a different name, but I still on my cursor I have Penn Pilot, so I forget the name of it now. But that's another one that goes back to 1938 with the U.S. Geological Service. They took photos of every county in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's so neat. I don't know if I have something like that.
Oh, yeah, they did it like every 38, 58, 68, 78, 98, I think it was. Somewhere in those variables.
Is that for the state, or is it for all the states?
See, all I know is in Pennsylvania, it was for Pennsylvania state. I never, but when you bring it up, it has a whole country map. So I would assume that if they brought that up and it's so you can click on it, I just never clicked on it other than Pennsylvania. So I would assume that the U.S. Geological Service did it in every state at that time.
Find that. That sounds really interesting.
Well, try Penn Pilot, PENN Pilot, and it should take you to where it is now. It may
Joe's typing it.
I want to see.
Find it.
Oh, here it is. Someone put it out here. Mark Thomas put Pennsylvania Spatial Data Access. Thank you, Mark.
Okay.
So it sounds like it's only for Pennsylvania. Yes.
But if hey, Mark, access that and see what you can see. See if you can click on other states then, because they might call it something different for each state, but they all link to this.
Could be.
I got it right here.
Okay. We're all curious.
Yeah, I know.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're always trying to find something different.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's real nice. You can zoom in, like, depending on the year. You know, when you get in the 30s and 50s, some of them are like just blurs anyway. But some you can really get in and get the detail if the plane flew low enough.
Yeah, it's definitely just Pennsylvania.
Okay. Because
you figured it lists all the counties in PA. There's no way to search anything else.
Sorry, guys.
I'll tell you though, Pennsylvania is really amazing what they give you, the information, because I've heard other people talk about the research in Pennsylvania. We have a lot of detectorists from Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
And you seem to really have great connections with your maps, where some states struggle with that.
Yeah, Pennsylvania being an earlier state and an older state has just way better record collecting. And since we never got anything burnt down, you know, in Pennsylvania, really, any archives or anything, we managed to keep a lot of good stuff. If you go to the state libraries, it's a treasure trove. It really is.
I can't wait to get to the libraries, but our libraries are closed still because of COVID. They're open July. There's so many things local because I've just started getting some permissions, but I need a little extra. I can't get to the historical societies because they're not open. So the library has the rest of the information, and I can't get there yet until July.
Yeah, this COVID thing, it definitely put a crimp in going to like places like the library and even certain areas, you know, that you couldn't get access to. So glad it's easing up a little, God willing. So
fingers crossed. We're getting there. We're making progress, and that's all that matters.
Yep. So what's next? What you got for me?
Well, I mean, you're talking a little bit about your permissions. So I know you do quite a bit other than metal detecting, and we'll get to that in a moment or so. But speaking of metal detecting, do you prefer the homesteads or the farms, where you have a lot of farms in Pennsylvania? Of course, there's a lot of history right there. Is there one over the other that you prefer the most?
I prefer a homestead over farm fields, but I detect both equally. Probably more farm field when it gets into the fall. But I prefer homesteads for the variety of items you'll get. Whereas if you're in a cornfield that was to a homestead, you're going to get more coins and buttons and less relics. Whereas when you're around the actual homestead itself, I'm a relic guy. I'll take some relics. So that's how I go.
No, I'm right with you when it comes to the relics. I mean, it's nice to find a coin, but give me a relic any day. And trying to figure out what it is or the age of it.
Give her a Crotal Bell. You'll never hear from her again for the rest of the day.
I love Crotal Bells, and I dug a Conestoga bell.
That's all I want. I just want bells in my life.
There you go.
Hey, I got excited. I found a bicycle bell this weekend. I was like, oh, this goes to a bicycle. I got all excited. about bells. I don't know what it is.
They're awesome to find.
It is. It's funny because one of my coworkers, she knows I metal detect, and her house, they used to make where her property sits because her father built the house. But before that, where the property sit, it used to be a shoemaker that was there. So she finds all sorts of things in her yard when she's gardening and stuff. So she sent me a picture, and I should have brought it. Another thing that's still at work. She sent me a picture this morning and said, Nancy, look what I found in my yard when I was turning over my garden. And I have no idea what it is. She doesn't know what it is. And it's just this, it kind of looks like it's just long and all these little teeth marks. It's not like a rake. I don't know if it's like, I'm thinking because it was a shoe place that maybe it poked holes in the leather or something.
Could have been
no
part
idea.
Of a leather stretcher even.
Yeah, I'll send you the photo. I mean, I'll put it on my Facebook page. Maybe somebody can help ID it because it's pretty cool.
Hey, Dennis probably wants to know if you have insurance to go metal detecting.
Do I have insurance to go metal detecting? No.
Question in chat.
What's that?
It was a question in chat.
Oh, okay. No, I don't have it, but I do have liability release forms, and I make sure to tell anyone. I mean, they fill out the If I fill out the liability release form, then the insurance, that's on me.
Right.
But as far as damaging their property, I've actually damaged a person's property once, and it could be a lesson for people. I was going to dig a hole, and I put my detector down, and I went like this with my spade, and I just went like that to shoot it in the ground. Well, here the people had a previous gas leak, and when did the next line, it was supposed to go under the freeze zone. What do they call it? The freeze zone, where basically where the ground it stops freeze. So in other words, it has to be like so many feet down. Well, they didn't do that. They put it above the freezing line, and it was only like 3 inches under the ground. And you can't do that with gas line. Well, I threw that spade in there, and all of a sudden I seen like this chunk of dirt just
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, and I take off running, thinking I'm going to blow up. And I'm running to my car, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to get the lady out of the house. So I ran back to the house.
Sorry.
And it's just this little lady. I'm like, you got to get out. And I got her out of her home, and I'm hugging her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm calling the people right now. Tell me who to call. So she told me to, who the people are that do her gas. And I called them out, and they fixed it. And they said, hey, he actually did you a favor in a way, because that would have been there forever, that exposed. We all know you could kick your boot heel in the ground 3 inches and kick up something. So, and the reason they did work there prior is because a tree fell there and broke the gas line. So, yeah, they fixed it. They buried it way down. I paid for the whole thing, and I still have permission to detect there.
Well, you saved her life, so.
She's such a nice lady too. I felt so bad.
So have you found anything good at this premise then?
Oh, at her place? Oh, I've found over the years so many good things. I found her, and I heard it was a sleigh bell when I did the further research, but I'd already given it to her. It said November 1879 on it, and it was copper, and it didn't look like a regular crodle, but it was shaped like one. And she was there when I dug it, and she never asked for anything. And she looked at it and held it, and it was perfect. And she said, do you mind if I keep this one thing? How do you say no?
I know.
And the whole time I'm sitting there going, absolutely. And, my heart's just dropping.
Can I take a photo, please?
and that's what I said, yeah, let me take some photos for my video. And, but yeah, other than that, I found, quarters, silver quarters in there, Georges and, Mercs, the stuff you get from the 40s and 30s through the 50s, that was average there. The property was real old. It should have had older stuff. I'm kind of thinking it's even deeper. And I've only been there one time with the Knox. And when I found a ton of stuff.
Oh, amazing.
And then I blew up her gas line, and I was only back one other time.
She deserved that bell.
She deserved it.
Well, I'll tell you, people do need to check out your page because you have found some amazing, amazing relics.
Thank you.
Not even to mention some of the coins that you found.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. I enjoy it. And I had to find a way to keep exercising after I had my AFib. And it was just basically that's the one thing I could do that was perfect. It was a perfect pace. And people don't realize it isn't even just about walking. You got to push yourself back up when you're done digging. You're pulling on things hard. You know, people don't understand. It's pretty physical, but it's at your pace. So it made it perfect for rehabbing and getting back into shape and keeping me fit. So the finds are awesome, but it's also saved my life big time. I could say that with a fact.
I completely understand that.
Yeah.
We all have a story as to why we metal detect, and that's one of the things I always hear. It's made such a difference in my life, or it saved my life. It's to me, it's my therapy, and
it absolutely
love it. My therapy.
And not to be a Bible thumper, but it puts you closer to God when you're out there seeing things. You know, the atmosphere, the beauty of what you're out there around. When you get that great find after a hard day, or you talk to a farmer and you make new friends with the people that you blow up their gas lines, and it's there's a lot to it that's just therapeutic, and I think it's the greatest hobby other than fishing.
I agree.
Yep.
I have no one to go fishing with. Nobody will fish with me.
You come down here, we'll take you fishing proper.
Definitely, that's a plan. I'm telling you.
We'll take
you.
Out.
I know we've been talking a little bit about, as you said, just other hobbies. I know one of the things that amazes me on your videos is you have some canal and bottle digging videos. And my daughter and I just got into bottle digging because we found, by mistake, I thought we were heading to a cellar hole, and we found by mistake this amazing bottle dump. And that's where I sat yesterday for 6 hours with her. It's great. Time goes by so fast, you don't even realize what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
But I still I want to learn a little bit more about how to find bottle dumps. I mean, you just seem to go places, you know exactly where they are.
Well,
you don't just like skim the top. You're 6 feet in the ground in some of your bottle dumps.
Now, with the bottle dumps, that is purely through my friend Carrie Land.
Okay.
Just those real deep bottle dumps. Some of the smaller ones I've done at the canal. I've done a privy. We've done some other things. But as far as the big dumps that we hit, that's my buddy Carrie Land, and he is awesome, and he got big kahunas because there's no way I go down. You never see.
You're telling me. I saw your videos, and they're like under the ground, and the other one's up on top, jumping on it to break as he's shoveling, and I'm like, it's gonna collapse, and I'm sitting there going, it's gonna collapse.
That guy's a beast. I love that guy. But yeah, Carrie, he has a lot of dumps that he goes to at different times in the year. And a lot of them were like, northeastern Pennsylvania. But with those guys, there's money involved because for a lot of them, they're selling those bottles because they're worth hundreds of dollars, and there's no way to get them anywhere else.
Yeah.
People don't realize when they go to an antique store, which I'm an antique dealer by profession. Antique stores, all those bottles people see there, most of them been dug. They weren't just sitting in someone's mom and pop shop. Those have been long gone. So it's really cool. And then Carrie is just, he probes, the ground. He has I think a 6-foot probe. So he'll probe the ground and he'll find the soft, sweet spot. We'll go down. I'm usually digging to about 4 or 5 feet. I'm only 5'5" and 3/4. So once it's beyond my head,
3/4 makes a difference.
Yes. And then I'm done, then I just become the filming guy, and I'll save you if you need saved. But yeah, he'll go down, and he's had one where he went down 18 foot. I have a picture of it, and he's just looking up, and you're looking way down at him, and he's holding a bottle.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm hoping this Sunday I film with him again. He has a good group of guys with him. But yeah, with them, then you learn about the bottle aspect of things, which is a whole new, I collect bottles. So it's a whole new, I don't even know. It's a whole new thing. They're their own people too. They can look at a little 3 letters on something and tell you the date and grandma made it and, whatever. But yeah, with him, that I deal with the bottle digging with him alone. I think I'll be going out with. There's a guy who goes by the name of Badger. His name's David Kern, and
Okay.
he's a pretty solid bottle digger. And he's invited me a couple times, so I might venture out with him as well. But other than that, that's it for the bottles. With the canal digging, that's all about research.
That's awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah,
all right. There's a question in the chat for you.
No,
our good friend. Can you see it?
Yeah,
I just put it up.
He didn't tell me about his dig stock ticket, so no.
That's right. I was telling him how you showed me your dig stock receipt. And yeah, he's like, wait a minute, I was just with him this weekend and he didn't tell me.
I will, brother. I will.
Yeah.
We had a good time this weekend. But the canal, that was, once again, I found one old home. And then in the course of researching it, there were 5 old homes there. And so the homes you see me are on the river side of the canal. And actually, in one of the videos, I actually have the house picture in one of the videos.
Okay.
And it's I know sometimes the captions go quick in my videos. I'll learn to slow them down at some point. But there's one there with the actual cabin. And when I found that picture in a book, I committed it to memory. And when I walked down the one side path is where I found this beautiful cameo in the one video, the cameo pin that was like pink. I don't even know what the material is in the middle of that. But yeah, just fascinating, the stuff we're finding. And it's an ongoing project. We walked away from it, a couple months ago, and we'll be back at it again probably in the middle of the summer. And it's good fishing.
Well, I'm telling you, if people here in the chat, if you want to see some bottle digging and some canal digging, I was really impressed with the canal digging because you forget. Ooh, we lost Joe Copperhead.
Uh-oh. He had enough.
It says device not connected. He'll be back. But I mean, it's amazing because you forget that as they say, most bottle dumps are by rivers or streams.
Yes.
And you forget that because a lot of times you just kind of bypassed all that. And it's amazing the things that you're pulling there. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I found there, I was walking after fishing. We never dug. We actually dug a year before 4 test holes. There was 4 of us. We didn't find anything but junk. We walked away from it. Then I went fishing last summer with my friend, and I wasn't getting any fish, so I said, I'm going to go walk along the banks. And as I'm walking along, I found a marble. And then I found a coin. And then I found a button. And there's shards everywhere. There's oyster shells everywhere.
Yes.
And then I saw, like, underneath this log, it was like something greenish gray sticking out of the ground. And I go over and I pick it up, and I just gently pull it out. And I thought it was a kid's buckle. And it turned out to be a War of 1812 militia buckle.
That's amazing.
How do you find stuff like? And it was like halfway out of the ground.
It's like a surface found right there. How long that has been sitting there. I mean, I know the water turns, but it's amazing something like that can be sticking out of the ground, and then your 25 cents from 2019 is 12 inches in the ground.
We would take breaks, and one of the guys I went with, Frank Magaro, he's walking and he finds a heel plate, a heart-shaped heel plate, intact. Right
That's on my bucket list.
We're just sitting there. He goes, D, check this out. And he shows it to me. Like, you got to be kidding me. And then he found like a lion. I think it goes to a shoe. It's a lion's head intact. It's either that or a door knock. But it just surface finds. And I think we pulled out. We've had to because we've invited guys up, and so I can't keep track of everything. But I think we're up well over 100 buttons, and
Your own little mud larkin.
yeah. Well, then we decided we're going to dig into the banks, and then as we dug into the banks and went further in, we found more. And then as we went deeper, we found older. So I found a clay pipe intact. There we found a couple 1800 silver coins. I think the one was a barber dime, a quarter. I have a whole showcase just filled with just that place alone, and it never ceases to give us stuff. It's amazing. It really is.
Is that like your own special spot though, or do you think other people know about that?
If they go there and get caught, they'll get kicked off because the owner won't let anyone else on there.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good when you get a permission like that.
That's one thing. When I go to get permissions, and I'm not pushy, but I always say to the owner, if you just let me here and anything gets messed up, it's just me. But if you let other people on here, you can't expect me to take the blame for anything. And I said, so and I say in a nice way, I'd appreciate if, no one came on here while I'm here. I come out like business. I come out in a collared shirt with my wife and a business card. I don't come out like Joe Dirt with a shovel in my hand, Metallica shirt. I'm going to rock. I don't do that. There's only one guy I know that can just door knock on a detecting day, and his name's James, and he's the most innocent looking guy. I think he can sell ice cream to Eskimos. Other than that, I think you got to go a little more polished than what some people do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You make it sound so easy though to get permission.
If you're not one to and you have it, you have the gift of gab. If you have that, you can get a permission, but you have to be sincere. Mm-hmm. And that's why there's so many snakes out there. They're not sincere. These guys just want stuff. I'm going to put my headlamp on and go out at night. Yeah. I'll shark you. But, everyone I've had a permission with, I've developed a friendship. I have 40 active permissions.
Wow, that's amazing.
Meaning I could go there anytime. Some of them I've had for 10 years that I haven't been to for 5, then I've been on the last 5. There's probably 3 or 4 I've not gone to yet that I asked, and I just not gone yet.
That's cool.
And I always go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, so with these permissions, do you offer them what you find, or is it basically what you dig?
I don't promise them the sky, moon, and earth like some people might do. I tell them, look, I keep 5%, 10% of it. I have so much stuff, and I'm being honest with them. I don't need every relic. I don't need every coin. So, if you look at the one, I have one video where the people are out front holding their shadow box.
Right.
Because I always tell people, I'll do a shadow box for you, and they love it. Yeah. A lot of them don't like to get filmed because they don't want their faces being associated with the house and all that. I definitely understand that.
Understandable.
But I do that for anyone that wants that. One of the guys I detected with this guy, Jerry Ross, his generosity to owners of permissions it just really impressed me, and it helped me do more, with these people, and in the sincerity of it. And when you give back a little, they love you. You can keep coming. You don't have to just go one time and never go again, which a lot of people do, that's great and all, but you never get it all. So that's why I try to keep the permissions as long as I can.
That's awesome. Good for you. I mean, I just started getting permissions or trying to get permissions. So it takes a little bit.
Yeah. You have to be relaxed, and you have it. You really look at the property. You try to find a common ground. A lot of the ways I introduce myself is I'll say, hey, I've gone by your property a million times. I think it's beautiful. What age is this? I already know the age. I've already looked them up. So they start talking about it, and I already looked at the parcel viewer, so I can see their family's owned it forever. Wow, how long's your family been here? 100 years? I didn't know that. Wow. A lot of the answer, if you have that in you when you're talking to it, you're in the conversation like that. And, as long as you're not looking around all shady and everything, and like I said, decked out in Metallica and ripped shirts and, got your gold pen and your shovel and your detector, you'll be all right. It's not as hard as people think.
We'll get there on that. That's one of the things I know we talk about a lot is just permissions. And it's one of those things that I think it gets easier, as you said, as it gets easier as you start talking. And COVID didn't help us much with it. So people became very skittish to opening their doors. You didn't approach people. I think we'll slowly be getting back around to that. And yeah, I would like to score a homestead because most of my is just woods. And what I knew was there before that. So it's easier to dig woods and not be so worried about destroying someone's property or hitting a gas line like you did. Because that is something that I would do.
And that so far is the only thing I've damaged, but I took care of it right away.
That's good. So with the permissions that you find, you go detecting on, tell me about some of your relics that have you found or some of your favorite coins or your oldest.
I found a couple KGs in the 1700s. I don't remember all the dates at this point, but I went to one farm and I still can go there, but it's been hit. He keeps it open to everyone. And it's kind of nice that he does that, and everyone's very respectable. He's known in the area. It's like 300 some acres, but there's been a group of us that hit it so hardcore that there's not much left there. But the first silver I ever found was 8 real on his property, and that was the 1794, and that was sweet. And then right after that in the woods I found 2 more KGs, and they were both 1780s, 1790s. So that was one of my favorites. I found an 1875 seated dime in the crack of steps at an old, I guess you would call it a restaurant or a lodge. It was a lodge.
Okay.
And there's a crack in the steps, and I just took my pinpointer in there, and it went off. And I fished around a little, and then I found the 1875, nice date, full figure dime, right? The sitting dime, Liberty, whatever. And I told the owner about it. He goes, no. I said, yeah. He goes, do you know we moved those steps from over here? We picked them up and we moved them here because this whole lodge burnt down, and what was left, we moved over. So when they moved it, that damn dime was in the crack of the steps the whole time. And it was the first time I took my son detecting, right? And I'm jumping up and down, doing the chicken dance, all that stuff you do when you're first getting silver and gold. And, he's like, that's awesome, Dad. Can I go sit in the car?
Spoken like a true kid, I'm telling you.
But yeah, that was one of my favorites. Not that it was a super duper find, but that was one of my favorites. I found my first penny, my first find ever was a 1857 Flying Eagle. I think that's the year, either 57 or there was 2 common date years and then 1 special year. It's the common date year.
Right.
And when it came out under this tree, and I named this tree the Giving Tree, because every time I went around it, every time I went there, I found something else. And it was a real old tree, over 100 years old. And it was part of some of the research I did on a camp out here, Camp Meade. And every time I went around the Giving Tree, it gave me another thing. And it gave me this coin. And it came out so disgusting. I thought it was old weedy. And then I told someone, they said, set it in lemon juice. And I went home, threw it in lemon juice, forgot about it, pulled it out later. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding. No one gets that on their first coin. No. And it was. And that's one of my favorites as well. That's probably the favorite because it came from the Giving Tree.
Oh, that's a great story. I like that, the Giving Tree.
Yeah. Yeah, they sold the property, and I still go back, and the tree's still there. And, I just hope they don't cut it down eventually. But, you know how that goes.
No, they can't. You have to tell them they can't cut the tree down.
You'll see. I'll be that dope chained to the tree. No, you can't do it. No.
Do it. I'll join you. I don't believe in cutting trees down. It drives me crazy. As Chris was just saying, have never seen anyone dig a 4 real. Have you? they were talking about it. The chat's going by so quickly, and I'm trying to pick up. If anybody has any questions, please, for Dustin, please write at Ambient Girls so I can see it. I'm sorry. I've seen a couple of questions go by, and I apologize because when I try to scroll back to go and highlight it, it's gone because StreamYard is a little bit delayed, but it still goes just as fast.
Yeah, that list just...
It does. It really does.
Sounds like some people are happy to looks like they're starting the hobby and they're getting a little excited from what I'm reading here about getting out and doing stuff. And that's what it's all about. Just get out and do it.
It is.
That's
Get out there and try to see what you can save, because that's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah. I did research for a camp meet in Middletown, and that's probably one of the things that you'd want to hear about, because that actually, I did a presentation a few years back, got in the newspaper, and it was a Spanish-American war camp, and I think people forget about this war, and I started seeing some people in different states that had a camp starting posting stuff. So people are finding these camps in their states, and basically the camp in Middletown, Pennsylvania, that camp, the whole town was part of the camp. All the fields, everything. The High Spire, there's like a little town there, High Spire, right along the river. That was part of it. And one of the first things that got me into it was I went to a group hunt there, and it just, the history of it. And I contacted the organization that owned a lot of the field, and I got permission, which is really hard to do through a corporation. And I got permission to hunt it for a couple of years until they sold the property. And the story it tells, where you could find out where they had their privies. You could see where they had their medical tent by what you found around it. We found old syringes and stuff like that. I always ask myself, what the hell are they doing there? Because there's shell casings everywhere. Like, I think they just let them shoot their guns at times just to keep them from rusting or corroding. And they just would let them shoot right where they had parade grounds and everything. And I know some of the stuff when they did for parades, they shot too. And then I found a rifle range, where all the lead is in this hill, all the bullets. And you could go in there and pounds of bullets from the Spanish-American War period. And then you start finding 3-ring bullets, and you realize this was a guy from the Civil War and the Spanish-American War. Then you find musket balls, and you're like, that's probably a farmer or another Civil War vet.
Right.
And the things you find in there, it's fascinating. So I encourage everyone to go out and look for Spanish-American War camps, and you'll find, you find your coins, you find all that stuff, but it's the camp stuff that you find, the suspender belts, the buttons. I found a medal that no one's seen, that, like, it's basically they gave it to them when they left the camp. They gave them a special medal. Well, all the common ones are different than mine. I don't know why mine's so different, but it's
crazy.
An original.
It really is.
I said, that's crazy.
Yeah, and there's...
Get your research on.
It's a whole set of history we forgot that's there.
Yeah, it's true.
And,
very true.
Like, I knew there were camps in Maryland, Virginia. There's more camps in Pennsylvania, but they have the one that's closest to me has some controls over it with their township, so I don't even want to go through that. The one in Middletown, that's just been pounded. They built a high school part of it, sold some of the fields off, and the fields that are left have just been...
And that's the thing, is there's just getting buildings thrown up on all these properties. Yeah.
We did a field before they bought it. We knew they were buying it out, and they gave us a couple days to go through there. And I found 1802 half cent, full date, beautiful everything. And everyone that went through there, I feel with me, was finding historic coins and historic stuff. And then we had to get off the field. They tore the whole freaking, like 100 acres, just tore it up, right? Put 3 little homes in the middle of it, and then the rest of it's all tore up for the last 3 years. And it's like, what a waste. Yeah. There are 3 spec homes that have been sitting there for 3 years, with this desolation all around it that they destroyed and kicked up.
Oh, that's horrible. But you see that often.
Yeah, yeah, it's happening a lot out here.
Yeah, there was a little some questions are starting to pop up, and one of them is from Swift Detecting. It says, question, what program and which detector you like to use the most and why on pasture land, and one for beach to all three of you?
That's a lot
I don't do a lot of beach. I'm a park 2 and a field 2. Those are my 2 things on my knocks.
I'm the same.
What about you, Dustin?
Just field 2. That's
field
it.
2. Always?
Yep. Listen, what's the difference in the tones? It's multi-frequency. You know what I mean? If you know your machine, it don't matter. As long as you have it on all metal mode, forget about it. You can put it in. Now, beach is different. I don't beach hunt because I don't like beach hunting. It's too hard. You got to wait for the water to come up and then start at a certain point. And I don't like finding that much modern stuff. And I definitely hate digging sinkers and hooks. So
I feel you, man. I'm the same way.
But as far as the machine, really, I mean, that's why it's already set to go when you pull it out the box, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you can discriminate that thing down, but, you know, it's all your choice on what you want to listen to. I'm pretty happy with what I'm listening to now. So until...
Do you have it on all metal mode or?
Oh, absolutely. You have to. You have to listen to every grunt, squeak, squeal. And, you know, once you know that machine, like we were talking about earlier, it's not about two-way repeatables. It's about picking up signals, latching onto that signal, and then getting that to be repeatable if you can. Sometimes you can. Sometimes it'll jump. If it jumps 3 notches, you're probably in something solid. If it's over 3 notches, maybe it's hot rocks or something. But it could also be big silver sitting on its side. So you got to dig it.
Okay, your buddy's asking you from Lost Boys Recovery.
I can't stand that guy.
It's Dustin. It's not Justin. You just spent the weekend digging with him. Get his name right. It says, what's Dustin's thought on water hunting? Would he take the plunge? Ha ha.
Yeah, he already knows the answer. I said, hell no. I'm fat. We don't float. We sink. But
he's like, typo. Yeah.
He has some interesting stuff that Andy does. That breather thing he uses, and he was showing me videos of himself under the water. That fascinates me. It really does. I have too many phobias with water. So I told him I'll film him from the water up, you know. And I'll
get your toes wet. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, you know, I'm happy for him. I'll go with you. But, yeah, I'm not going under.
I don't blame you.
Oh, come on, bro.
He's trying real hard. Tell him you got to put $1 to it. Even then, it probably wouldn't work, right?
Nah, just, you know what? To me, it's more about the material in the water than it is anything else. I'm just scared to get one of them brain-eating amoebas or whatever they call them that, you know, you hear about them every couple of years. A little water gets in someone's ear, and all of a sudden, some brain-eating thing kills them, and they're creeks and streams.
All right.
I don't think I'm ever going to go in the water now.
Well, you know, think about it, though. You know, there's a lot of stuff in that water. Dead stuff. Special stuff. Fecal. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there that you don't want to get. But, hey, Andy, you have at it, buddy.
We'll see what you look like in another 10 years if you're growing funky things in your head or a tail.
He'll have antennas, one up, one down. You know, he'll be
there. You go.
Of fish.
Guess what? He actually grew gills.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's it. Water is for the fish, Melly Man Mike. Oh, definitely. Let's keep the fish there.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because I mean I grew up at the beach, but it's like to go beach swimming, nope. I'd rather jump in a creek or a lake, go on a little river swimming. But now that you just put a whole different spin on that, I might not be getting in the water at all this year.
I'm just saying, you know. Now, it's not a regular occurrence, but It's not made up either. So
That's funny.
Kansas.
Chad is going at it now with all this amoeba stuff.
Everybody sees some people afraid of snakes and turtles and stuff like that in the water.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like snakes.
That could be it.
I stepped on this big red snake one year, all coiled up and sunning. And I'm out there, and I stepped on him. He was so big, you felt it, right? I took off one way, he took off the other. Later on that day, I said to the owner, I said, there's this huge red snake. Oh, that's our pet snake. Did you say hi to it? Yeah, I did. Lucky I didn't kill it, just turn around with a reflex.
Oh my God, you're lucky you didn't take a shovel and kill it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in doing that anyway, but I mean,
it would have been worse if you came back and said, "Oh, by the way, I stepped on this real big snake and I killed it."
Here, you want some dinner?
Is this yours?
Yeah. That was Oscar.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's crazy stuff there. Yeah. Anything strange that you found while you're metal detecting then? Since we're talking about snakes and
the oddest thing you have found.
What's that?
What's the oddest thing you have found?
Like a find or just some random crap?
Just random.
Tell us.
Found, it's pretty common, of course, to find deer carcasses. I don't know how many of them I've stumbled upon. And cows. I found whole cow skeletons, you can tell animals got to them by the spreading of the bones, Yeah. I found a dead horse one time. I was digging. And something just didn't feel right, and it just didn't look right on my spade, and I moved away from that area. I thought maybe I hit a
It was in the ground, you mean? Like they buried it?
They buried it, right, in this big mound and made it look like a hill with grass on it. So, you go up to the side of a hill, like, oh, let me hit that. It's probably its damn collar or something. I don't know.
It's horseshoes. I found a horseshoe.
I just found a shoe and hoof. But yeah, I just didn't feel right. And when I'm leaving later, I said, hey, man, is there something over in that dirt pile? He goes, oh, that's Sally. We buried her a year ago. And I'm like, man, thanks for telling me, man. I said, well, I think I busted Sally up a little. And he didn't care. He's like, well, did you fill the hole? I don't want the animals to get to it. And I said, brother, if I opened that hole and buried it, and I said, I did, I buried my hole, but you're fucked. You better just put something on that thing because the animals are coming. Once they get that scent, it's over.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy. That is too crazy.
Yeah, the animals are the ones, man. You always find, I find a lot of deer shed. I don't know if you guys find a lot of that, a lot of antlers. And
I don't.
Which is odd to me being up in New Hampshire.
I know. I'm in the woods all the time, and I've yet to find sheds.
You guys have elk, right, in New Hampshire? Or moose?
We have moose.
Moose. I was in New Hampshire one time and driving.
I find bones, but I haven't found deer shed or moose. I would love to find a shed from a moose. Antlers, wow.
Well, it's bad when you're going through a state and it tells you how many moose people got killed by moose that year. Yeah, and I'm going through there going, do I really want to stay in this resort? I mean, people are dying here. And and it's all the from the moose getting hit by cars and stuff.
That was actually on the news this morning that we seem to have an abundant population of moose right now that are roaming the streets.
Will they send hunters out to take care of that then?
No, we have hunting season for moose, just a short, I think it's a weekend actually, and it's lottery. You have to put into it, and there's only so many people that are allowed to hunt, and you're only allowed one. And yeah, it's not like deer. Deer season has a season, but for moose, it's a weekend thing or something, and it's lottery.
What will they do to curb the population then?
Most of it, believe it or not, our population of moose was declining for a while because of the ticks. The ticks were the disease.
That's interesting.
The moose were covered in ticks, and we had such a death of moose for a while.
Oh.
So I think that's why I didn't catch the whole story. So I think that's why this morning they were talking about the moose population is increasing a little bit, and they're being seen more out in the street areas. So just a little bit cautious because there's been a couple of accidents that made the news recently too.
Yeah, I just remember
But they're,
going up
they're beautiful. They're massive animals. They're absolutely the most ugliest, beautiful thing in the world.
They're massive. That's all I know. That's enough to keep me away.
I know we just hit the 8:00 hour, and I know many of you head over to the other streams. Mandarin Digger Dagaz podcast has been canceled for today, but there is the live streams over on Facebook page. If you're leaving right now, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to wrap this up in about another 5 minutes, Dustin, because I don't like to go over too much, and then I'll talk backstage with you for a few minutes, so please don't just log off.
Okay.
I miss Emily. Is there anything there? I know you held up something. Was there anything there you wanted to show us you had in front of you?
Oh,
I know you have.
It was just it was just a badge I dug at.
Yeah, that was really cool though. Let me just see if I could.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, deputy sheriff. I don't know if I'm doing you any justice here, but it was just cool because it's not something they planted at the hunt. It was on the fairgrounds that we were at.
That's cool.
So that's cool. That was something you just found.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it to me. Like I found $30-some in silver and all kinds of old coins and different things. And this was the coolest thing to me. Just a piece of old crappy aluminum, but it'll go in my badge case.
I like it.
It's silly the things that you end up liking, and I get more excited over a musket ball sometimes than a coin. It just depends. I mean, the coins are coins, you can buy them.
Right.
So if it's something you can buy, how excited can you get? Now you get something that's really expensive. Yeah, do the chicken dance and all that. But it's the relics that just mean everything to me, especially like that. Some little kid played with that.
He's digging it. Was just asking it. Was that a toy badge or a legit one?
Oh, that's a toy badge. I wish
the link to Dustin's channel, if you look at the top of the chat in blue, I have pinned Dutchboy Adentures. So all you need to do is click on that link and it will take you right over to Dutchboy Adentures channel, and you can check out his amazing videos. I'll tell you, you've got some great. So is there any plans in the future? Right before we leave, what's the one thing you haven't found that you want to find? That's hard with all the things that you found because you have some amazing relics.
Thank you. And it's really nothing compared to some of the things I've seen out there. I've never dug a gold coin. Now I've dug a gold ring, and I was so happy to get this ring, and I brought it home. And my wife never liked anything. I could show her a 200-year-old coin and say it's worth $300. Okay, I brought this ring home. She goes, "I'll clean it up for you," and that should have been my first hint. That should have been right then and there. I should have known, because there's no way she would have cleaned anything for me ever. And I haven't seen that ring since, and she wears it every day. And that's probably one of the best things I've found too, because she wears it.
Nice.
Like a gold coin would be nice, but really, I just want to keep hitting history. And I don't care about a special find. I really don't. I don't. I want to just keep getting out there and finding more. What it is, I just hope it's good stuff. If it's a coin, a gold coin, hey, I know we all want one. But once again, it's something you can buy on your own too. So to me, it's the relics. I would like to find an old gun, maybe. I've not found a real gun yet. And I don't mean something modern. I mean something old from back in the day. Something Civil War. I don't have a lot of access to Civil War. Of course, I'd love a belt plate, or a buckle or something like that. Those would be more things I would drift towards. As far as coins, there's not one coin that I strive anymore to get. I've never got a silver dollar. So yeah, that would be great. But other than that, that's the only thing I never got. And there's going to be more days out there, and it's just those relics. Oh.
Last question before we end the night. Right. There's a lot of new people that are just starting out. What is that one thing that you will advice that you can give them? Just the ones that are starting out metal detecting.
There's so many different things you can say to them, but the one thing is these are computers. These machines are computers now. If you're not up for computers, don't get into this, because that's the stage we're at right now. If you're not willing to learn the technology, if you're not willing to research properties or ask permission, this may not be for you. If you're willing to do those things, you're going to have a lifetime of fun. You're going to probably be able to include some friends, family. You'll definitely make digger friends to go out with, but you definitely gotta. I'm not even going to get into the rules of digging. I'm just going to get into if you don't like computers, if you don't like to research, and if you don't like to door knock, don't do this. You'll never be happy, because you'll always be relying on someone else to do all that for you. And other than that, the benefits way outweigh the rest, because, like I said, you'll have a lifetime of fun. You can go anywhere and just have fun, and the friends you'll make will be friends for life.
So true.
Yep.
That is so true. I'll tell you, this hobby has brought many of us together.
And one other thing, if you're in Pennsylvania, stay away from me and my properties.
Look at that face, everybody. Hey, remember that face. He'll hunt you down.
I do want to say one thing. I took a different approach to my YouTube than a lot of YouTube people do. I don't ask to go to your permissions. You guys want it, if you're new in it, if you're handicapped, if you're a serviceman or woman, and you want to get out and detect, call me up, send me a message. I don't have anything top secret. I don't want everybody that just wants a place to go to come bugging me, because I'm going to shoot you down. But if you're sincere and you want to get out there and you have some issues, I know places I can take you that you can access. If you got a wheelchair, I'll push you. Whatever you need, I will do that. You've seen young guys. All the guys in my videos are all 1 and 2 year guys. Some of them are just getting into it. Brian and Zach and some of these guys are just really getting into it now. And I don't ask anyone to go to their permission to film a video. So now I won't say I won't go to your permission and film a video, but I'm not going to do that like other guys do. It's not worth it. And I'd rather, because of who I am, I'd rather take you out with me. So
you're amazing. Once again, Dustin, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
All you've done, and also helping in the community. That opens the world to many more people out there. That really is.
I appreciate it.
Guys, this hour went by so fast, and I hate to cut this, but I do. There are other shows going on at the moment. Dustin, thank you very much for being a part of Digging Life tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I'm looking forward to seeing more for you. Everybody, take a moment and check out Dutchboy Adentures. In the meantime, I hope you all have a great week. Don't be shy. Keep smiling. Be safe. And we'll do this all again next week. Thank you, Dustin. Good night, Joe.
Thank you.
Everyone, have a great week. Take care.